How you doing, guys? This is Hybridsteel and welcome back to Hydroneer 2.2, and today we're going to be talking about a tier 3 setup. Oh yes, we're going to go down to the depths of every level. So first off, obviously I haven't really messed around with this too much, and because it's taken a lot of effort to do this, I'm going to pretend that every single one of my pipes is in cornerstone. Now if you haven't seen my video based on pressure, basically with this attached to this, we'll actually turn the pressure down off of my system and it will make it down to Cloutium standard, unless the whole thing was made of corestone, which I haven't got time to do. So let's go and chat down in the corestone setup. Now obviously we've got our saw over here. I still haven't put it into a setup, but I will do, and when I get around to it I'll show you the video. It's all good, but this is the main setup of how everything's going to be working. Now the little gremlins over at Hydroneer headquarters have been hard at work messing around with the way you're going to set up your drills. So this is how I did it. You don't have to copy me, you can do it how you like. I really don't care. I'm just going to talk you through it. It's all good. Now pretend that all this is corestone piping, and I've spent an absolute fortune in tokens to get them. And if you didn't know already, you need tokens to buy corestone piping. And basically from here, your water is going to be splitting, one into the conveyor belts and two into my drills. Yes, the intakes for the drills have been changed once again for the Renegade Master, and we're going to be taking our intakes all the way to the top of the build. It cleans up the rest of the setup. You can actually do quite a lot of weird things with these actually being the way they are. You can have them all sort of like molded together all in one big block and just connect them all with strange pipe. Apart from that, we're all good. I would personally be leaving a couple of spaces in between to put some boosters in, but for now I just thought this would do it. So yeah, the intake for the tier 3 is now on top. Harvesters have changed a little bit as well. So our outtake is here and our intake is right next to it. So it's not behind anymore, and having this right here actually doesn't do too badly when it comes to running off of a conveyor belt straight into the top and then running onto another belt. All you've got to do is mess around with this little bit of piping here and everything sets up really nicely. Genuinely, I actually don't mind this too much. So for me, big win, tier 3 setup, fantastic. Obviously we're going to need our corestone cauldron, and our corestone we're going to be mining off as well, and it's all right. And all of these pipes are now running at stupid amounts of speed because the corestone top notch is like ridiculous. I mean, it's 510, 511 now or something like that. It's a lot of pressure, and that means things move faster, the drills work faster. It just works. It's brilliant. And then obviously we've got our, it's bare minimum logic, but basically whilst the water's working to make these work, pull the lever and all these work as well. And then if I need anything for a specific mission, I'm going to be taking it out of here. I'm going to be weighing it first because I don't know how much it weighs, and then I'm going to be putting my input into the saw, and the saw is going to basically split off. Now one build that I do want to get around to doing is to basically chain this conveyor belt back onto that conveyor belt. Obviously I would do this a lot closer so I don't have to mess around with it too much, but then what I would do is whatever comes off this line and it goes back into the system, I'd want it back on there so it goes through. Now what I would also do is I'd make a little 1 bar of gold and I'd stick it on top up here. I'd put a 1 little bar of iron, 1 bit of Cloutium, 1 tiny shard and 1 bit of corestone as a bar shape. And the reason why is because when I set all this off with a logic, because I'm going to be turning this all into a logic build, sort of, and then when it all goes through, then it's all going to go through and it'll all just pander its way through, and it's going to be good. So yeah, that's how tier 3 is going to be set up as a bog standard setup. This is how I could see a lot of people doing their builds to start with, because number 1, it doesn't take up a lot of room. Number 2, it's a fairly simple, straightforward build. And number 3, it's brainless. You don't even have to worry about things anymore. It just all works for you. And we'll get into an advanced setup a little bit later on, but for now, you can see that tier 3 has been changed enough to basically make everything that people have prepped for basically null and void right now. I was one of those people who's like, I'm gonna wait, and the reason why I was gonna wait is because I knew that they were going to change the inputs and the outputs for the tier 3 section, and I'm glad I waited, because I have spoken to a couple of people who've like, oh, I've already prepped for tier 3, mate, we're all good. I said, how'd you prep for tier 3 when you don't know when the intakes of the drills are going to be? They went, what? I was like, well, they change them on every tier, so this is now tier 3. This is how you're all going to be building, and it's going to be, yeah, it's definitely it turns your builds on its head of how you're going to be putting things together. So hopefully this sort of helps you understand how to build a tier 3 setup. This is very, very basic and very easy to understand. At the end of the day, it just means you're going to have to use another booster up the top, and you're going to have to mess around on a higher platform. I would probably suggest getting a little walkway between your drills and just make sure they're all plugged in properly. But apart from that, it's all good. So thank you very much for coming by. This has been Hybridsteel. If you have enjoyed this, hit the like, subscribe and notification button below for all other updates, and I will be back here with a brand new video live stream or whatever else I do on this channel. Until then, I want to say thank you very much for coming by. I'll see you all later. I'll say peace out, have fun, enjoy everything you guys do. Bye bye for now.